Okay, hello. We're going to be researching on the Crucible, and you're going to be looking for sources. And we're going to start here with we're going to start with blooms, and on this video, we're going to look at the possibly themes of the Crucible, and starting to think about using the database to think about what your topic might be. So we'll look at different themes that you could choose from. And then we'll also look at some of the basic ones that you can just go right into a search for. So I'll show you how to use that. So first of all, in case you haven't used any of our databases here at the library, I wanted to show you how to get to them. You have to be logged into Canvas, and just like I am right here. And as you can see, my dashboard will look very different from yours, see, because I don't have a tile for each and every class that I have. I have it for the library and our resources and some other items. So, what I want you to look for in order to get to our databases, to get to our library page, which is right here on this first tile. The one over here, this one that says Loyola faculty and staff, on your dashboard, it will look like it will say something like student resources. Okay, it won't say Loyola faculty and staff. All right, so you would go to that. Okay, now again, because this is a faculty page, it's my page, it's going to look a bit different. Okay, yours would show up probably as a tile, or you could go to the courses link on the left frame here. Okay, so then we have Burns Library. Okay, it should show up there under your student resources, because that's what they are. Our online databases are called resources, just like books are often called research resources. Right? That's the double R, but anyway, you use them for research, and we're looking for resources. So that's what we want to go to. So I'm going to scroll down here. Actually, you could go right there. Again, mine says Loyola faculty. Yours will say student resources. So let's just click on that and see what we get. Again, it opens up differently on a faculty staff page. So I have to scroll down, and here's Burns Library. Again, it won't look like this. This was created for faculty and staff. So whoever created this part, which I did not do, they chose this picture. Anyway, it will look quite different. Okay, so you'll want to look for that link, student resources. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. Okay, again, I don't like the way it shows. It's right here on our page, but it will not look like that for you. So I'm going to go back to my all courses, and we'll just kind of move on from that. So I'm going to go to Burns Library. I already have it pulled up here. All right. So essentially, this is what it looks like. If you followed that link, the one that will say student resources, it should come right here. Okay. And we have all of our information here. We have databases. We have a library catalog. That's when you want to look up a book that's in the library on our shelves. We also have an ebook, a giant ebook collection. So that's if you need more info, and I can always help you with that. You'll have to ask for an account, and it will be on if you go to this link, it will be there. It will show you. Please ask for an account. Okay, and then it will come back to me, and I will send you back an email with your account. Okay, and this is Sora. We share this with other schools in the area. This doesn't have a whole lot of books, but I put it up there for during the COVID time. All right, when you could not come to school and collect books. Anyway, we'll move on. And these are some other items. You probably remember digital citizenship last year as a freshman. Okay, So we can ignore all that. What we're going to do is look at the databases. All right. So you would click on this, and since I already have it open, I'm just going to open it up here. But what you would do is open this, and probably you would want to make it in a new tab. Okay, so that way you don't lose this page in case you need something from it. Okay, I'm going to go directly to our resources. So these are our research databases. Okay, so these are all of them. We have quite a few. All right, and we're going to go to one right now because this is you're dealing with literature. You're actually specifically dealing with a play, but it will have information on it. This is by Harold Bloom. He's no longer living, but he had so much work that he did. Wrote books and everything, all about literature and dramatic pieces as well. And it's criticism. So this is where people are talking about stories and plays. And criticism doesn't mean it has to be bad or negative. We're just talking about it. We're analyzing the literature or the play in this case, and we want to find out what other scholars have written about these items to help us. This is part of the research. You want to find out what other experts have written, and these would be people who are experts in literature. All right, they could be professors, they could be grad students at universities who are majoring in literature, and they're they're doing their work and they've gotten published. Okay, so that's what we want to find. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to go to Blooms. You would click on this. If you notice at the very bottom down here, I've got to hover over it. It shows the location of this database. Okay, but before you click on it, you want to look over here where it says the ID and the password. So just in case, depending if you're on campus, it'll probably go directly there and not require a login. If you're off campus, it will most likely require your login. Okay. Anyway, you go there. We would open it up in a new tab. And since I've already got it open, I'm going to go directly to the tab here. It's right over here. Okay. Well, you saw me click on this. Let's tell you what that's about. This is a LibGuide. I'm building it here. This is what you will get from me. This will be another way for you to access the resources that are pertinent to your assignment. Thus, I've created this just for your assignment. I'll be showing this to you when you visit us in the library when we start your research assignment. Okay, so I'm going to move on from there. We're going to go right here, and we're going to just type in the Crucible. Okay, now I could choose that if I want to, but I'm just going to go with a broad search right now. Okay, that might give us only one article where it's the actual author of the play talking about his play. So that will come up, but we're just going to go with the general search, and we're going to give it the title. And you just hit the search. Okay, so it came up with quite a few things, a total of 173 of reference articles. If you look here across the top, we can break those down into specific types of articles. We have criticism, which I mentioned earlier. These are where they're talking specifically about the Crucible. Other literary works, okay, images, videos, timelines. That's if they are available. If you notice, they're hyperlinked. That means they have articles under these categories. Looks like literary works, we don't have anything under that. Okay. We do have timelines, so that's interesting if you want to make sure you've got the right century. Looks like 17th century, that's what it's set in, but it was actually written in the 50s. Okay, so we want to see what kinds of themes, right? That's always what I start out with first. Okay, so even though I have quite a few articles here, you could look at them. Okay, some are just essay topics that might be interesting to you. Although I believe Ms. Ayub has given you a couple of things, topics to look at. The general topics, which you could break down further. For instance, one is timeless issues or themes portrayed through the crucible that makes this relevant today as they were in the 1950s. Also, another one is the power of or lack of power of women as seen in 17th century America. That's the general themes that we might be looking for, but there may be a breakdown of themes in those broader topics, okay, that you could choose from. So for right now, I'm going to take these 173 articles that are possible, and we're going to go over here on the right side. We're going to look at these other categories. So one of the things that I think are very helpful, we have this book called How to Write About, and it could be, there are many novels and plays that Harold Bloom wrote that are included in this database, and they're giving you tips on how to write about, like the things that you should be thinking about when you're going to write about a story, a novel, a play, what have you. So I'd like to show you that first, just because that did show up here. Okay, this is under the narrow results on the right side. You see where I'm looking at right now. Then we want to look at topic and theme. Excuse me. Okay, so how to write about entry. Okay, so it comes up with one because it's one book, and I wanted to show you what it looks like. How to write about father and son. That's interesting. So I was expecting it to say how to write about the crucible, but let's just go ahead and look at that. Okay, this is talking about Langston Hughes and a short story. Why it's included in the crucible, I do not know, but sometimes the databases will surprise you when you think you're looking for one thing. Okay, I'm just scrolling through and I'm going to look at it again. I don't know what happened here, but it could be because this is not really relevant at all. So I don't know why it came up. I believe it's because I just have the crucible. Okay, now one thing I could do, I'm going to go back to the search results. So this is good that this showed up. Of course, I wasn't planning for it. I was going to take you directly and tell you exactly what to do. Well, that's almost impossible. Okay, you're going to have to do a lot of thinking on your own. But one of the things we could do, I'm going to go back to home. All right. And I'm going to start the search over again. So I am kind of happy that this little quagmire showed up here. Okay, that will come up in research. Anytime you do research from now through your adult years, this may happen. I'm going to put a quotes around the title of our play, Crucible. Okay, because the database could have just used the word the. Usually it eliminates that initial article, but sometimes it just may come up every time you see the word crucible, which is it's a word, and you can look up that definition. I'm sure you've got an idea of it already if you've already read the play. That those words could come up in any article that's on this database. So that's why we might want to put quotes around a title or any phrase of words that you want all of the words inside of the quotes to show up. Okay, so that's what we're doing. It's a little trick. We're telling the database we want only articles that put these two words together in this exact order. Okay, so we're going to hit search. Okay, well, All right. It's still giving us 173, but yeah, I'm going to look over at how to write about the entry again and see if we get anything different. I have a feeling we're not going to get anything different because it is possible that while he wrote lots of these books called How to Write About, right here, it is possible that he did not write one about the Crucible. Let's just look. Yeah, we came up with the same one. So I'm going to abandon this and I'm going to go back. Actually, I'm going to go to topic and theme. See if we just run this again. Okay, we came back to the total items. Okay, so we're going to look at topic and theme. All right, so some of the common themes. Again, we're looking topic and theme inside the Crucible. I'm really sorry we couldn't find that book on how to write about the Crucible, but it was not available. It means otherwise it would have been here. So we'll abandon that. These things will happen to you anytime you start research. Okay, spirituality. Yes, that is. We already know that's a common theme. Community. I'm wondering if that might help us with looking at women in 17th century America, which is the setting of this play. Alienation. Oh, yeah. Stages of life. Guilt and responsibility. That is a huge one. Law. Great Britain in the works of Arthur Miller. Okay, well, that's going to be a more general article because they're talking about other plays of his. He was primarily a playwright. Um, Williamstown Theater Festival. Okay, that's going to be about a performance. So, House Un-American Activities Committee. Oh, yes, you've probably heard about McCarthyism in the 1950s. That's what was happening during the writing of this. Um, some actually see this play as a response to how he felt about what was happening in America at that time. Joseph McCarthy was a senator, and he went on literally witch hunts. And he went after Hollywood filmmakers, actors, everybody involved was everybody who had anything to do with Hollywood practically could possibly be accused of being communist or un-American. All right, so that is going to be a very, very promising thing. Yes, you could save it to a folder, but you're going to have to create your own little account, after you log in as a Leila account holder, then you would make your own little account. You could save it to a folder, okay? I would say you could open that up and you can download it or send it to yourself. That's probably a lot easier. Okay, so we also have other people who are tangible, probably to the McCarthy era. Okay, award winning. Again, that's not relevant for us. Lillian Hellman was another playwright. Marilyn Monroe. Miller was actually married to her, one of her husbands. Okay, Elia Kazan. Okay, again, this if you were to choose the McCarthy angle here, McCarthyism angle, Elia Kazan was a producer and filmmaker, and he was actually labeled as un-American. And what this means is these people were often lost their jobs. It's kind of the same as I'll give you a clue right here. The cancel culture that we have going on right now, all over the world, especially in social media. If they don't, if some people in power don't like your thoughts that follow along with their narrative, yeah, you could be canceled. You could lose your job. You could not get work. Okay. So we have lots. Oh, here's communism. Yes. Existentialism. Right. Okay, so There's a lot, democracy and so on. And then there are 3 more pages of this, okay? So, another thing you can do if you wanted help with narrowing this down even further, you might wanna go to all those pages and then scan this and look at them, or you could go to criticism, okay? And all that did was add more articles, so we might wanna do this a different way. I'm gonna go back. Okay, to the original references that came up. Okay, so let's look at essay topics. Okay, this is they're looking at a character. Essay topics. Okay. Cold War and post-war American literature. All right, we're getting a little bit further away from the actual title of our play, so let's abandon that. We'll go back to the okay. So one thing I might want to do, let me see if this will narrow down some more. Now we just opened it up more. Okay, but either way, you can look through there. The other thing you can do is let's do something different. Let's go back up here and just type women and see what we get. Okay. Okay, so this sounds good. This is summary, spirituality, again, community. All right, these were things that showed up before, which is okay. So we might want to look at one of these. All right. Salem witch trials. Let's see if this is a tag. So it's gone in and tagged whenever we saw the word women. Okay, see in yellow here. Let's look at this tag section because this is another way to narrow things down. If you decided you wanted to talk about the women and their power or lack of power or anything having to do with them, we don't know how many articles are talking about the word power here, but you'll have to actually read some articles. Civil disobedience. Okay. Now these are other plays or works that where they discuss Salem or anything else. Okay, again, you might only find one article that has to do with the Crucible. For instance, this one or this one. I'd say these first 3, okay? And then I would look at those, maybe save them. I'm gonna actually, I'm gonna look at this and then I don't have time to really read it, which is okay, but you want to come back to this and you don't have to search again for it. You could share this, you could download it. So you could share it and you can highlight this link. I'd say put it in an email to yourself, or like for instance, you could go directly to an email. Okay? You'd put your own email, so on. Okay. And then you hit send. We're not going to do that at this point, but that's how you would do it. So you go through and collect some of these, even though you don't have time to read them right now. I think these are all possible. Okay. So I'm going to go back to my search results. All right. Okay, so I'm going to move off of this one for now. And we'll look at some of this when you come visit. All right.